You're listening to The Pump Fake. And welcome into the Week 1 preview edition of The Pump Fake, everybody. Jarrett Bailey here with you as always, joined by the most frequent guest in the history of this program and my bestest friend in the whole world, Matt Verderame of Sports Illustrated. Hey, we made it, buddy. We made it.
Made it. No more bullshit. No more OTAs
Yeah.
and mini camp and training camp and
conspiracy theories in Cleveland about what's going on with the fifth round pick quarterback. And
that was fun. Yes, it's actual football. It's actual football, which is a beautiful thing.
It is. And big weekend to kick everything off, starting on Thursday, a game on Friday as well. And we'll talk about all 16 before this episode is done. So let's get it going. Let's start with Cowboys Eagles. Obviously, Dallas trading away Micah Parsons, the biggest headline of the last week. They are still 7.5-point dogs, which is a lower number than I would have expected, just considering all the stuff going on right now. Right. But Dak Prescott never been swept by the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's got a very good record against them in his career. But regardless, we're just talking about Thursday. Yeah, we were talking in the lobby before this. You don't have very high hopes for the Cowboys this year.
I just think, look, forget the obvious, which is Micah Parsons not being there is a killer. When you trade your best player, you as a front office, in this case as an owner, are telling the team that you don't believe in them. Because if you're sitting there and you're hoping to win a Super Bowl, like you don't see Baltimore trading Kyle Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see Kansas City trading Chris Jones. You don't see Philadelphia trading Saquon. Like, if you're Dallas, now look, nobody's arguing, and nobody was arguing that they are in that class of team.
Mm-hmm.
But if you trade that guy, like, I think they're going to come out flat as hell Thursday night. I mean, I just don't know emotionally, how do you pick yourself up with that game? You're going in there. It's a tough game to begin with. Now, all of a sudden, you're going in there and you're without your best player, and not because he's hurt, not because he's injured, not because you traded him.
Yeah.
I just think, man, that is a really tough spot for Dallas. And that's the second biggest line of the week. Denver with Tennessee is the only one that's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if Philadelphia just really puts it on them. I mean, that's a game where Philly's going to have a lot of emotion. They're going to be high as hell for that game. If you're Dallas, I mean, the argument for Dallas to cover in that game is just that they scored 27 points.
Yeah, it's going to be very 2024 Bengals-y for them to have any, a snowball's chance in hell to be a competitive team or a potential postseason team. Is just if Dak and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens just go scorched earth this year and put up really good numbers and score a ton of points, that's the only scenario that I see them winning this week. It's going to be the only scenario that, when they play the better teams on their schedule, that people are going to be able to look at and say, all right, if they score 35, then sure. But defensively, man, their top passers right now are Marshawn Nealon and Dante Fowler, who Fowler had a nice year last year, but that was very much a career outlier, not necessarily a norm. Secondary wise, I like Deron Bland. Trevon Diggs is fine, but I don't think there's a blue chip guy on that side of the ball.
No, there's not. I mean, that's one of the worst, 8 defenses in football. That defense is not good.
Yeah.
They're going to have to score a billion points. And Dak is not Burrow.
Sure.
And CeeDee Lamb is fairly close to Chase.
I'd say he's probably the third best receiver in football behind Jefferson and Chase.
Right? He's certainly in the top 5. Pickens is not Higgins. And
you don't think?
I don't think.
Okay.
I like George Pickens as a player, but he's also a constant head case.
That's completely fair. I mean, that's why he got traded.
This is Dallas, where if you're a head case, that's going to be magnified a billionfold. Okay. And they don't have Mike Tomlin to rein him in.
Yeah.
They have a first-time head coach. Like, that is going to be – look, I think that team's winning like 6 games. They're just not good. like, they're not – there's no argument that team's better than Philadelphia or even Washington. Like, what is the case? Like, they're just – look, competitive in some of these games, sure, fine, but I would be shocked. I would be shocked if Philadelphia doesn't win this game.
I'll play devil's advocate a little bit and say every season that Dak Prescott has finished, they've won at least 8. And if he finishes the season, he's a top 10 quarterback in my. I don't know where you put him, but I put him in the top 10.
He's on the borderline somewhere in there, depending on the year.
Yeah. So I do think that if he finishes the season, comes through, mostly unscathed, I think they'll probably be in that neighborhood. I don't think they'll be, Cleveland Browns bad. So I think that he gives them at least a little bit of a bump of being at least, 7-8 wins. But yeah, that offense is going to have to put up a lot of points. I don't see them winning this. And, this is very much going to be a game that I'm watching for betting purposes more than anything. We'll see what the anytime touchdowns look like. But yeah, I will pick Philadelphia to win this somewhat handedly. Maybe it gets a little bit interesting at the end. It is the first game of the year. That seems to always have something. There always seems to be a little bit of flair there. So yeah, I'll take Philly to win. But I'll take Dallas I'll take them to cover. We'll say just by a touchdown.
That's fine. I'll take Philly. I think Philly wins this game 30 to, I don't know, 17. 30
okay.
To 20. Either way.
All right. Sure. All right. Let's talk about your Kansas City Chiefs starting the season in Brazil. You're not going to make the trip to Sao Paulo?
No, I am not. I will be watching that game from New York, relaxing and writing about it and podcasting about it and all the rest of it.
All right. So they are 3-point favorites against the Los Angeles Chargers, who everybody and their mother seems to think are all of a sudden like the gift to the AFC West and the AFC after going back to the postseason last year and putting up one of the worst performances in recent NFL postseason history against the Houston Texans. I just don't see why we're doing this thing where a lot of our peers are just like, actually, I think the Chargers are going to win the division. Actually, I think the Broncos are going to win the division. Kansas City will win this. I don't think it's going to be necessarily ever in question. They'll have it for the ceremony of doing it. I just don't understand the national conversation surrounding this division. Until somebody wins the AFC West, not named Kansas City, I got no reason to believe why that won't be the case. And yeah, what is Mahomes' record against the Chargers? Actually, it's got to be astronomically great.
I will look it up right now, but I tell you, in the division, he's 35-5.
That's absurd.
Okay, just in the division, he's.
I believe he's only lost one game against Denver. That was in 23.
So lost one, yeah. Well, they won 17 in a row against them.
Yeah, it was something stupid. Yeah.
I'll look it up right now. Mahomes in his career against the Chargers is but here we go. 10-2.
Okay. So
27 touchdowns, 7 picks in 12 games.
Yeah, I mean, I rest my case a little bit there. I mean,
he's 10-2 against them. He's 12-2 against the Raiders, and he's a crisp 13-1 against them.
There you go.
He's only ever lost one road divisional game.
Oh, which one was that? Was it in Denver that they lost, or is it?
Yeah, he was sick as hell. He had the flu, and
the 2 interception game, right?
Yeah, and they had like 5 turnovers, and like they damn near like Sky Moore didn't drop a touchdown pass. They still might have won that game. Yeah, Russell Wilson threw like 100 yards, and Denver won. Yeah, it was the Chiefs won the Super Bowl in one of the years, 2023. But yeah, listen, I mean, this game to me, this game is really simple. If the Chargers want any shot to win this game, they better be able to get to Mahomes, and they better be able to run the football. And if they can't do those 2 things, that game's over. I don't. The problem I have with the Chargers is this offseason going into it, they had a lot of money to spend. They had a lot of cap space. And I sat there and said, okay, look, really good first year under Harbaugh. You won 11 games, but you had a talent deficit at receiver, right? Receiver / tight end, like your pass catching weapons. McConkey was terrific, but you're going, all right, like you got to do something here because Quentin Johnson hasn't turned out to be what you hoped he would be this one, right? And, Joshua Palmer's a free agent. You got to do something. Well, Palmer leaves for Buffalo. Their answer to that was to bring in like Mike Williams,
who then promptly retired.
It was like fuck this, and retired like a day in a camp.
Yeah.
And they brought in 32-year-old Keenan Allen.
That's just.
And like, I like Keenan Allen, but Keenan Allen and a lot of McConkey are the same guy. Like, they're both slot guys who have great hands and run great routes, but don't stretch the field. That's the problem I have. Just like, if you're the Chargers, you know, with Greg Roman, right? They want to pound the ball. They drafted Amari Hampton in the first round. They took Najee Harris, who I know you saw for 4 years running, who, by the way, I would argue, and I know we've never had this conversation. I know you will agree with me on this.
Okay.
Jaylen Warren is better than Najee Harris.
Yeah.
And has been for years.
Sure.
Like, Najee Harris, quietly, not good.
He's not great.
He's not good. He's the epitome of, like, I'll just get 4 yards.
That's the thing. He's a guy, if you need 4 yards, he'll get you 4. If you need 6, he'll get you 4. Like, he's
a guy. Like,
yeah.
So they draft Hampton. And I kept waiting the whole offseason. Like, they got to add somebody who can stretch the field here. Because if like, I'm just using the Chiefs as the example because it's week 1. If I'm the Chiefs in this game, I'd put a safety down in the box and be like, go ahead and beat me.
Yep.
Do it. We're going to put McDuffie on McConkey the entire game. Go ahead, beat me over the top. Like, do you know how many plays Quentin Johnston had over 35 yards last year?
Oh, no, but I feel like you might.
2.
No, not good.
I mean, if you're the Chiefs, you're like, go ahead, Quentin, beat me. Right? Like, go ahead, Keenan, run a 9 route on Jalen Watson. Go ahead and do it. Like, so I think the Chargers are going to have to run the ball against a lot of traffic.
And even if they do, man, like, at the end of the day, you're going to have to make some throws to beat Kansas City because you know that they're going to answer that. And they just don't have the horses. Like, it didn't even have to be like a huge splashy move, right? Just get a field stretcher. MVS was available. That's better than anything you got.
It's so funny you said that. I literally said that on the radio to somebody like yesterday. I was like, MVS is terrible. Just get somebody who can run.
Like, just anybody who can just run in a straight line.
There's nobody who have any respect for going down the field. Spags is going to sit on all stuff. Now, the other side of the coin, both from my Chiefs fandom, but also just in general, I am very, very interested to see how Josh Simmons plays left tackle. Because I went to I went 7 camps. I saw 9 teams, a couple joint practices. Simmons was a guy that was like everybody, you went to camp and every team has their guy or two that the coaches will talk about. Oh, this guy, watch that guy, whatever. You went to Kansas City, it was almost like a hushed tone, like, watch Simmons, like, watch this guy. So the day I went there, they got moved inside because of weather. So they go inside, and their rules in Kansas City, it's basically behind like the Iron Curtain of the Soviet Union. Like, they're like, you tweet anything, we kill you. No, but so we go in there, and it's actually, it's in a weird way kind of cool because you're like in there with you are on the field with these guys, right? So you're watching this thing. It's like the third team rep, 11-11. Charles Mena, who goes to rush Simmons and tried to it was a little hard to tell because my vantage point was almost like Mahomes' vantage point. Like, it was like looking at the back of Simmons. I think Amena, who tried to do like a stutter step where he kind of hopped, Simmons picked him up off the ground and just body slammed him. I thought he killed him. Like, Amena, who stayed down and he was holding his shoulder. I thought he broke his clavicle initially. Like, the way he got up, he ended up being fine. He came back in like 2 plays later, was completely fine. I think he just kind of had a stinger.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching that play. I'm like, oh my God. Like Charles Mena, who's not great, he's like a halfway decent. I mean, he took him and just picked him up like he was me and just threw him. Like, that's different. I would imagine Khalil Mack's going to go against him a decent amount in this game. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a Hall of Fame player. I know he's in the twilight of his career, but he's still a Hall of Famer, still good. To me, that's the Chargers' way of winning this game. You've got to affect Mahomes and get home and try. Because if they can't, and Mahomes has time, even without Rice, you've got Worthy, you've got to slim down Kelsey, and it's early in the year, so Kelsey will be somewhat spry. You've got Hollywood, you've got it's more than enough to score 27 points.
Right.
So if you're the Chargers, I almost feel like if you're Jesse Minter, the DC, you've got to kind of sell out a little bit in this game. Big, look, we get beat deep, man.
Right.
We have got to try to force a fumble, force a pick, because if we just play a bunch of zone and drop 7, we're dead anyway, just slower.
And another thing with their personnel, quietly, who on their defense is good outside of Mack and Derwin James? Asante Samuel's not there anymore. Joey Bosa's gone.
Right.
Diane Henley is a guy that I like.
He's decent.
He's a fun player, but like cornerback wise, they signed Dante Jackson. Hey, God save the Queen, Los Angeles, because Dante Jackson, nice guy, but down the stretch wasn't very good last year. So
Tui Pelotu is probably their like only like him and Mac are about it up front.
Yeah.
And then, as you point out, look, dude, their corners are like Dante Jackson, Cam Hart, and Tarheeb Still.
Oh, of course. How could I forget
like,
Tarheeb
that's what I'm saying.
Still?
Like, you might as well just blitz and try to get home because if Tarheeb Still's in a foot race with Xavier Worthy on a post route, like it's probably not great. Yeah, look, I mean, I think this game it's a divisional game, and Harbaugh's a good, but I think it's one of these like 27-19 kind of games. Maybe it's a little. It's like 24. But I think the Chiefs will win. They cover. I
agree.
They're just better than them. I mean, they're just a better team.
All right, let's head to the Sunday slate. Giants, Commanders. Commanders are favored by 6.5. I don't know. Where do you fall? Why is everybody all of a sudden like, I don't know, man? The Giants, like, brother, have you? Let's slow down.
I kind of would word that like, I don't know, the Giants. Look, I'll actually take the Giants to cover this, but I think Washington wins. I just am a believer. Like week one's weird.
Sure, I agree.
It's like I could see that being a game in the fourth quarter because it's just wonky. But then Mahomes is like an 80-yard drive where he completes 3 third downs. Like, the game's over now. The other thing that's weird about these two teams is like I've heard a lot of people like, regression. Here comes regression for Washington. It's like I don't know. Did you see the quarterback last year?
He's pretty good.
I think he's pretty good. Like, I don't think – look, I understand the argument that I don't love their roster. Their roster's not great. Like, I love McLaurin, and I do like that the offensive line's better, or really should be.
Should be.
The backs are eh. I don't care about, like, thick Deebo Samuel, who's like maybe a left guard playing receiver based on what we've seen. But Daniels is just – that guy's the goods, man.
He's special.
Really good. And defensively, they'll be better than they should be because Quinn's the coach. Luvu and Wagner are really good at the second level. And I'll tell you, Mike Sanders still is really good.
They moved him inside to nickel because they brought in Trey Amos. So I think that's cornerback-wise, they should be better.
He came in at nickel out of college and was good. And then they had a lot of injuries. He had to move outside. And he was still good. But then they're now moving him back to his natural position. I think Sanders still is a star in the making. I mean, the big question with them defensively is like, can they get enough of a pass rush? And also, like, what are you getting out of Lattimore? Like, is Lattimore like going to play 15 plus games? Is he going to play 9? Like, but look, I think Washington wins this game. I think it's like a backdoor cover type of thing.
Sure.
The one thing I'll say about the Giants, it is interesting. They can rush the fucking passer.
Man, you look at the line with Abdul Carter, who looked great. Yeah, I was in their first preseason game against the Bills starting offensive line. He had 2 pressures and 3 snaps and was like, all right, like there it is. Like, he's going to bring to the table.
If Kayvon Thibodeau is like your 4th best pass rusher,
it's a good place to be in.
You got, I mean, that's the one thing. Now, I think with Washington, they've got the tackles and you can, I think, mitigate it because Daniels can move and everything else. But you get a team with a bad offensive line, a stationary quarterback, that could be a murder scene. The Giants will win 5 or 6 games this year based off of nothing other than they will just create turnovers.
Right.
Now, they may do nothing with them, but they will, I don't know where you fall on this, by the way. And I know we're kind of in the same boat with it. Just play Jackson Dart. Like that,
I
Russell Wilson.
So, man, I don't know. You didn't see that big moon ball in the preseason against the Jets?
Oh God. I mean, it's just like, why?
Look, man, like I'll never say anything bad about Russ, the guy. He was very nice to me, very cordial in the few interactions that we had when he was in Pittsburgh. Gave me a few fun moments. Yeah, but the bottom really fell out at the end of last year. I would agree that it's probably it makes sense to start Jackson Dart. I know your colleague over at Sports Illustrated, Connor Orr, is pretty bullish on Russell. He did a great piece on Russell that everybody should go read. But yeah, man, I just don't see it. Dart looked good in the preseason. I didn't really have an opinion about him coming out. In brief interactions at the Senior Bowl, he seemed to have a good head on his shoulders. We'll see. But I would agree at this point, you may as well just see what you have. And if you're Brian Dable, I think that if they start off like 0-3, I think it's Jackson Dart time.
Yeah, well, the first 3 games, they're at Washington and they're at Dallas.
Then Kansas City soon in there.
They host the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
So that might be a thing where they look at it and go, look, let's let Russ play those 3 games.
Yeah.
And then like week 4, I think they play the Chargers and say, all right, play that game.
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
Getting there, that or like week 5, I think they play the Saints.
Oh, that's perfect then. Yeah, let me do the first month.
Deals that are like, look, bro, like, oh, don't worry about it. Like we're gonna let Russ wear Chris Jones for an evening. And that's because the one thing about the Giants, as good as they are defensively up front, boy, they are not good up front on offense. I mean, Tom's great, but the rest of that group. So I like the Giants to cover, but not to win. I think Washington wins again.
All right, sounds good on this end. Jacksonville and Carolina. I picked the Jaguars to win the AFC South, which I don't know. Like I was flirting with it for a while, and then Aaron and the FTN guys did the almanac and their projections, and they projected Jacksonville would have the most wins in that division. I think that was kind of the last step I needed to be like, all right, I think that there's something here.
Yeah.
Offensively, Brian Thomas is a star in the making. I love the backfield duo that they have with Bigsby and ETN. I think is pretty solid. Their pass rushers are good. They upgraded the secondary, bringing in Jerry Jones to be the nickel with Tyson Campbell. We'll see with Travis Hunter. I think he's predominantly going to be a receiver over cornerback, but we'll see how much he plays on defense and how much of an impact that he has. But overall, like it's a solid team that just was the victim of having a head coach that was completely checked out last year, and everything just kind of went into a tailspin. I think Liam Cohen will be a net positive, and I think Jacksonville starts off the year strong with a win over a Carolina team that I don't know, man. Like Bryce Young may have had a nice few games to close the year last year, but there's nothing on that roster.
See, that's the thing. Like I saw Carolina play hard at the end of the year and fight.
Yeah.
And I thought Young was better, and I think Canales is a good coach. But I feel the same. I look at that roster, it's just like, man.
And like Ejiro Evero, great defensive coordinators, just they don't have the horses, dude.
Nothing to worry. The team's just bad.
Yeah.
I like the Jags to win and cover. I'm with you. I think Cohen's going to be a good coach. And I will say this. There's a lot of pressure on Trevor Lawrence. Like, what are you? Like, let's see it, man.
Yeah.
The first year, like he was thrown to the wolves with Urban Meyer. Like, I'm not like fine, whatever. And then 2022, he played well, and they went to the playoffs and they won a game. A guy, and then like the last 2 years, I know he got hurt. I get it. It's been a lot of up and down. It's been a lot of like good one week, bad the next. I'm with you. Like the one thing that scares me is I do not like their offensive line. That offensive line scares me. It doesn't scare me in this game, but it scares me for the season. I'm picking Houston to win the division, but I will say I flirted with the idea too. I thought about like, does Jacksonville go 9-8 and win this thing? Like maybe. I feel like Jacksonville's a lot better the second half of the year. They've got Cohen's offense down, and Travis Hunter's like, they figured out how to use him. I feel like the first half of the year might be a little bit up and down, but I think they win this game. I'm with you. I don't think Carolina's got enough talent. They just don't have anybody on the team. I mean, who's the best player on Carolina?
Probably J.C. Horn, right?
Him and like Chuba Hubbard? Like, is that
it? Maybe. Who's their number? I guess Tet's going to be their number 1. Jalen Coker is going to be the 2 now since they traded Thielen. Like, we'll see.
Good luck. Like Xavier Legette.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about guys who, they had high expectations for, hasn't really lived up to. I mean, granted, he's a young player, but
I can't get super excited about it. I'm sorry.
I agree. All right, let's move on. Steelers going to MetLife to play the Jets. The easiest play that you can make this week is taking the under 37.5 in this game. These offenses are going to look rough week 1. Aaron Rodgers didn't touch the field in preseason. Neither did DK Metcalf. I fully expect this to be like a 16-10 game where the Steelers defense will probably have like 6 sacks. Watt will have 2. Fields might throw a pick to Jalen Ramsey or somebody, but I don't think the Steelers offense will have any sort of fireworks in the first game. Maybe they get better as the year goes on. I expect them to get better as the year goes on. But week 1, this will be a low-scoring game in MetLife. Steelers start off 1-0 against the Jets.
I'd be shocked if the Steelers win this game.
I had Damashek on Believe in Steelers, and he was like, dude, if they lose to the Jets, season's over. I was like, all right, let's. But he was like, no, listen, if they lose. Yeah, like he talked me into it. Like if they lose to the Jets week 1, like then you got to go out to midfield like, oh, hey, great job, Justin. We wish we would have kept you. And that just like things just fall apart very quickly and get dark very quickly if they lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, it really like, dude, it's really hard for me to see them losing this football game. I just cannot imagine. Like the problem I have with it is just I don't think the Jets can score points.
Their offense, dude, like Garrett Wilson is good, I think.
He's terrific, but dude, that's it. Like that
Who is their number 2? Is it Alan Lazard still? I guess.
Yes, I believe it is.
I don't know if I could tell you a third receiver on that team.
So when I'll tell you right now, also, by the way, too, let's be real, like Justin Fields is terrible. You and I had this argument going into last year. He's awful. He can't play football. He's not
incredibly. They're going to lean into his legs more than the Steelers did, and I think he'll be good for a few splash plays with that.
I'm not.
Cool. I get it. I get it.
It's Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, Alan Lazard, Smith, and Xavier Gibson. Good luck to the Jets.
Yeah.
Dude, they're terrible, man. The team. I get it defensively. They'll be good defensively. That's fine. They're going to score 6 points in that game. I can't make any case. If the Steelers lose that game, it's a pants shitting. It's just like Rodgers threw like 4 picks or something, because there's no. To me, you give me give me the Steelers all day long, and I agree, a low scoring game, but a game that I don't think you ever really feel like the Steelers are going to lose.
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, Ian Eagle and JJ Watt will be like snoozing off in the third quarter after like the 9th 3-and-out of the game, but.
Yes, MetLife, like they say, I cut the fireman head just like knee deep in a bottle of Hennessy. Yeah, that'll say it all for that game.
All right, let's go. Patriots Raiders. I do think that this game will be very fun, and I'm going to pick the Patriots to win. Again, the Raiders are another team that everybody seems to like have adopted this season. Better by default is how I would describe them. Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, like those are upgrades over what they had, but it's not exactly a high bar from what they had previously. I think Drake May. I said this to Tanir earlier in this week. At the end of this season, going into 2026, we're going to be talking about Drake May as like it'll be a consensus opinion. He's better than Justin Herbert. I fully expect him to be a star.
I think that's very fair.
Yeah, I think that
in the playoffs.
I picked them to be a playoff team. They don't have like a ton of weapons offensively. But you remember the year that they went to the playoffs with Mac Jones? They didn't have anything crazy there either. Say what you want about McDaniels as a head coach. Offensive coordinator wise, I think they got some juice there. Travion Henderson looks like a stud out of the backfield. Has some upgrades offensive line wise. Defensively, brought in a bunch of new guys. So I believe in the Patriots and Vrabel more than I believe in the Raiders. So I'm going to pick the Patriots this week to start off 1-0.
I agree. I also think, by the way, it matters that Robert Spillane is on the Pats and knows Raiders. Yeah,
that's a good shout.
Like, I get it's a different coaching staff. He knows everything about all those players.
Yeah.
And that matters. My read on the Raiders is I have seen even a handful of people be like, they're a playoff team. Here's my thing with them. Brock Bowers is awesome, and Max Crosby is awesome. Who the fuck else is any good?
Genty will probably be good, but that's not enough.
Genty might be very good. Colton Miller's a good left tackle.
Sure.
And like Jacoby Myers apparently wants out of there, but he's good. Those are the 5 best guys in the team.
Yeah.
I have no, like, who the hell is the 6th best player on that team? Tyree Wilson? Like, who the hell is good? Like,
it was Christian Wilkins, and then he.
Yeah, well, not anymore. They're not good. Like, and I know, look, and I'm obviously excluding Geno Smith here. Like, he's a quarterback. I'm putting him to the side. But like, we were talking before the show, and I won't name it, but there are like people that live for Geno Smith in a way that why?
Because he throws a pretty deep ball. That's about
am I watching the same quarterback you're all watching? Like he's fine.
And look, man, like I will say, like
17th best quarterback in football. He's
exactly,
fine.
Like he does throw.
Which, by the way, is Joe Montana compared to what the Raiders had last year?
Yes,
I get it.
Yes,
but this idea that like he's going to come in there and light it up. Like if you looked at the AFC as a whole and said, where does Geno Smith rank as a quarterback in the AFC? Is he even in the top half of the conference?
Oh, that's a good exercise to do. Would you
really
let's do that. Let's do this real quick. Would you take him over Tua? I would.
Yes, I would.
Okay. Over Fields, I would.
Oh God,
yeah. Over, I mean, who was not over Herbert, not over Mahomes, not over Allen Burrow. And he's better than anybody on the Browns.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, would you take Stroud over him?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. So would I. So you've got okay. You've got Stroud, Mahomes, Herbert, Allen, Burrow, Lamar. Right?
That's already 6.
Like that. Would you take? I think we both know the answer based on the way we just talked about. Would you take Drake May over him?
Yeah, I would take Drake May over him.
I would as well. So that's 7. Okay. Then you get into, I take him over Daniel Jones. I would take Trevor Lawrence over.
Yes, very much so.
Okay. So that's 8. Now we don't know what Cam Ward is. Like throwing a complete grade there. That's fine. Bo Nix.
I would take Geno.
So would I.
Yeah.
So we both are pretty much in lockstep. He's like the 9th best quarterback in the AFC.
Yeah, roughly.
I've got a really hard time getting like super uber excited about like, hey, we've got the 9th best guy in the conference and like the 3rd best guy in the division on a team that is one meaningful offensive receiver. Like
who once traded.
Yeah, like your entire offense is like praying to God Gentry turns into Saquon as a rookie. It's like we have Bowers and then God only knows what. Like, I don't know. And then like you've got Pete Carroll running this offense with Chip Kelly, which seems like kind of an odd mix.
Yeah, a little bit, doesn't it?
Like you couldn't want to play any differently than those 2 guys. Like it's just look, I think New England wins. One thing about New England, they're gonna hit everything.
Oh,
because Vrabel's out of his mind. Okay. So yeah, I mean, look, give me New England in a tight, 20 to 17 type game, like something like that. But yeah, I think the Raiders are improved, but I still think they're clearly the 4th best team in that division.
I would agree. There's another game I'm going to hammer the under 43.5 for this game. I'm going to absolutely take that. This next game will probably be called, I assume, by Chris Myers or the 8th Fox team. Cardinals at Saints. Not good. Arizona.
I'm going to spare the audience time on this shot. I am taking the Cardinals to cover.
Yes, absolutely. Do you know what the spread is?
6.5, right?
It is 6.5.
I think the Cardinals win this game like 30 to 10.
Yeah, it's not good.
I mean, the Saints just can't score. So you look at this like there's like Spencer Rattler's going to try to like do stuff in this game.
I talked about this.
I don't know how I feel about the Cardinals, but I feel like they're better than the Saints. So I'll take Arizona in a pretty big way.
Talked about this with Tanier earlier in the week, but like even like with the bad teams, right? You can at least find like a couple of dudes where like, oh yeah, that dude's good. Like the Browns last year, they still had all right. Myles Garrett's awesome. Denzel Ward's awesome. I can't find anybody like even with the Saints. Like Cam Jordan's prehistoric. Demario's old. Tyrann Mathieu retired.
Tyrann Mathieu took one look at that team. I was like,
he's like, actually, I'm good.
I'm ready to start the clock on Cam.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, all the really good players rolled. Jordan, Demario Davis, Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Chris Olave, I feel bad for him, but he's hurt constantly. Like Ramashek's gone. They're awful. They're my pick as the worst team in football. Like I think that team's going like 2-15.
I'll agree. I think I picked them exactly to go 2-15. I'll take it a step further. I think, like, if we look at it from a DVOA aspect, I will say the Saints will be one of the 15 worst teams in the history of football by the end of this year.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if I'm ready to go that far, but no, they're bad.
They have nobody on that team. A first-year head coach that I don't think Kellen Moore is a head coach in the NFL.
I'm probably with you on that.
They are going to be atrocious. Let's go to Bengals Browns. I mean, it's a game that the Bengals should win, but they haven't won a week 1 game in a while. So, I mean, they should win this. They're 5.5 point favorites. I think they will win, but it's something where I appreciate the approach of, all right, we're going to play all our stars in the preseason just to get their feet wet and at least get some sort of rhythm going into week 1 rather than, just going completely dry. But hopefully it helps. Browns aren't a good team.
What is the total on this game?
47.5.
Oh God. Take the over.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, dude, this is the game that if I had to pick an upset that nobody believes in, it's this game.
Oh.
The Browns kind of own them.
Yeah, like they at least win a game almost every. They win a game almost every year against them.
Like last year, they got swept by them, ironically, but like they give the Bengals fits every time they play them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things. Like late in the year, I think Cleveland's a great team to play. It's going to be Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel and like all the vets. Oh, I have a hamstring pull. I mean, it's going to be ridiculous, right? Like guys coming off the practice squad. here's the problem with playing bad teams early. They don't know they're bad.
Yeah. You could talk me into like John Wayne, Joe Flacco just balling out week 1 against a bad Bengals defense.
I feel like there's a world in this game where we're all sitting there looking at the ticker and it's like 3 minutes to go in the third quarter and it's 31-27. You're like, what is going on in this game? What's happening? Look, I'm going to pick the Bengals to win. I'm picking Cleveland to cover the spread.
Okay.
It's what, 5.5, right?
5.5.
Yeah, I'm picking Cleveland to cover the spread. I think this game is like 34-30.
Okay.
I don't think Cincinnati can stop anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've certainly downgraded a defensive coordinator, getting rid of Lou, who felt more like a scapegoat than anything.
Yes. I look very, very forward to if the Browns somehow win this game and everybody spends the entire week being like, oh, Browns better than we thought. And then they go to Baltimore and lose by 100 points. Like, I think the Bengals win because I just don't think the Browns are any good. I would not be surprised in this game if we're sitting here going, oh, my God, the Bengals did it again and lost another stupid week 1 game. When you're that bad defensively, there's always an opportunity for you to lose a game you shouldn't lose.
That's one of the ones that, I mean, obviously being, a fan of a team in the AFC North, I'm going to be watching it anyway. But, yeah, like I said, the approach that they took of, all right, maybe if we play our starters and get at least some sort of rhythm going, that'll help. But defensively, man, yeah, even with the Browns' lack of weapons, where it's Jerry Jeudy, it's Cedric Tillman, Jamari Thrash, like, I don't know. The Bengals corners aren't all that great. Like, they'll probably put Taylor Britt on Jeudy. Everybody else, like, all right, we'll see what Cedric Tillman can do against who is the Bengals' second corner. It can't be anybody good.
It's not. So I was there. It's Cam Taylor Britt. It's Dax Hill. It's like, God, who's the other guy?
Is Geno Stone still employed there?
He's a safety. DJ Turner the second.
Yeah.
It is not a strong group.
Yeah. They're relying a lot on Shamar Stewart, Demetrius Knight, like guys that are rookies to really play massive roles.
Well, the good news is for Demetrius Knight that he is 37 years old. So he's got about 12 years of college under his belt. I mean, they drafted the guy in the second round, and like the first thing somebody said was, "Well, he's 25 years old." Like, oh my God! Like,
yeah,
25 years old. That guy should be Lawrence Taylor at the college level at this point. So, I think they win, but I think that game is a shootout.
All right. Maybe it'll be, what was that, 04 game where it was like 54-45 between the two? Yeah. We'll see if it's anything like that. Dolphins, Colts. Oh, my God. Like, both of these teams are bad.
I have no idea what to do with this game. Like, I would tell anybody who's gambling for just stay away from it, but
I'm going to pick Miami.
See, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, I got to tell you, though. I think Miami's awful.
I do too. I think talent-wise, they're more talented than the Colts. I think the Colts are, I would assume, like, it's just a vibes thing. For just the vibes test, it doesn't take a lot to see more unified than the Dolphins right now. And I think the Colts, even with the lack of, like, quarterback and all the stuff that's happened this offseason, would still think that they're probably more behind Shane Steichen and like just playing for each other more than the Dolphins are right now. So maybe that plays a role into this.
You know what? I'm going to take the Colts in this game.
Okay.
I think Adam Rumo is going to give Tua some issues in this thing. And like, I know Daniel Jones isn't good.
Yeah.
Have you seen the secondary Miami's trotting out there?
Oh, yeah. Roswell Douglas is going to be their starting corner.
Storm Duck is their number one.
Duck. Yeah.
Michael Pittman might break like the all-time record for receiving yards in this game.
You know, you talked me into it. That's fair. I'll switch over my pick, and I will also take the Colts, who are a 1.5 favorite at home.
I don't love the Colts at all, but it's like you look at this game, you're like, man, if the Colts can do anything against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in this thing, like I have not. Devon Achane, he's ahead of schedule already getting hurt. So it's like, okay, he's already hurt. They can't block anybody. The defense is terrible. McDaniel's more worried about what he's wearing to the game than if they're going to win it or not. Like, I just look at them and it's like, I couldn't you see a scenario where this thing's like 20-3 Indianapolis in the third quarter and Tyreek Hill's like basically holding up a sign like, please trade me?
he pulls like an Antonio Brown, just takes off his jersey mid game. Like,
leaves.
actually,
Yeah.
I do want to leave, and I'm gonna
jersey off. It's a Chiefs jersey. Like it's just like it's ready to go. Like he's been like, by the way, like just like all summer long putting out like Instagram posts of like him in Kansas City.
Oh, really? I don't follow him on Instagram,
like just
so I don't.
Nonstop highlights of him as a Chief.
That's
all it's been. It's like a bat signal at this point to 1 hour drive. Which I ironically, or maybe unironically, I actually think if he gets straight, I think the Chiefs would like be all over that. But that's neither here nor there.
Dude, can you imagine like
him, Xavier Worthy, and Rashee Rice and 11 personnel? Good luck.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Kelsey's like the 4th target on the team. But in any event, no, dude. Like I don't know. Like I want to pick Miami in the sense better quarterback, but man, they are just like it's not like they're better. Like it's not like they're like Josh Allen better at quarterback.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you're better at quarterback, but not like, oh my God, here comes Tua. Like
I don't know if I can make this joke, but I'm gonna make it anyway. It's like being like the tallest dwarf. I was like, all right, bro, but you're still short.
Well, I mean, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Let's go with what you said. Yeah. I was gonna say something that certainly would have resulted in disciplinary action. So yeah, well, you said his act.
Okay, cool. Let's go with that. All right. So yeah, I think you swayed me. I will also take the Colts in this game.
I look forward to Mike McDaniel just like staring up like the video board down like 23-3. Tyreek's walking around in a Chiefs like Super Bowl 54 t-shirt, and Storm Duck is just getting torched like he doesn't have ankles for the 58th time in the second quarter. It'll be good. I can't wait. And then having to listen to people being like, well, you know, what are you going to do? You know, Tua's out there doing the best he can. It's like, that's great. That's great. Congratulations. You're going 4-13.
That's exactly what I predicted them to do.
By the way, I think it's hilarious. Like the Athletic had something out there where like they polled people in the league.
I did
like,
see you tweet about this. Yeah.
Expectations. And like the Dolphins were like tied for 3rd. Like who the fuck has expectations for the Dolphins? Like who's going into this season? Like, well, I'll tell you what, watch out for the Dolphins. Who the hell is this person? I was just staggered by that.
Oh,
really? Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's incredible. All right, let's go. NFC South, Buccaneers, Falcons. Like, I've listened to enough people like say, oh, you know, the Falcons could win the division this year. Like, fair enough. Like, maybe if Penix is good, I'm still going to pick the Bucs to do it. I'm going to pick them to win this game.
Dude, I think the Bucs. I have the Bucs going to the NFC title game.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't playing the Rams in the NFC title game.
All right, talk me into it then.
I think Baker's legitimately become a top 8 quarterback in football.
I don't want to put him top 8, but certainly like top 12 range of like that group of guys. But yeah.
Their receivers might be the best receivers in football.
Fair.
Evans, Ibuka,
Godwin when he gets back.
McMillan, right? I like Otten. He's fine. Bucky Irving is an awesome
He's good.
back. Nobody knows about him. The guy is awesome. When Wirfs is there, I like their offensive line. Like, the one thing that worries me is Cohen leaving. But dude, that offense might score like 28 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
That offense going to score 1 million points.
And they each time that the last offensive coordinators left, they continue to hire within house. So like it's not like the system's changing.
Again, I really like them drafting Parrish and Morrison at corner. Parrish inside, Morrison outside. I like that. I know Morrison's been injured a little bit, but I like that. The big thing with them is their pass rush. If they're going to get enough of one, like Hassan Reddick's got to be at least like decent.
Yeah.
But look, man, they're going to play a really easy schedule. I think they win the division going away. The Saints, the Panthers are brutal.
Not good.
The Falcons are just like new age Jeff Fisher bullshit. Like there's just bullshit. Like, all right, sure, right, whatever.
In terms of like teams that you should give a shit about, like the index, I'm going to be doing something about this. Where, if this is the line, like, do the Falcons, are they a team that you should give a shit about? Or are they under the give a shit?
They're under unless Penix shows you really complain.
Okay.
Because if I listen to one more person, tell you what, Kyle Pitts breakout, I'm going to commit a felony. Just stop. Like, a Kyle Pitts breakout happened in Florida. It's over.
Yeah.
No, like I think in the NFC, to me, I mean, obviously Philadelphia goes out saying. Philadelphia, I still like Detroit a lot. Like, I'm a big Minnesota guy. Like, I just think they're going to be good. But McCarthy, it's an open question.
That's where I fall in terms of on the other side of it. Is I just don't know what I'm going to get with McCarthy. So I'm not a big Minnesota guy.
the Rams scare the shit out of me, even though I'm picking them to go to the Super Bowl, because Stafford's like, look, I know what it is to be 37 with like a back issue, and I'm not an NFL player. That scares the daylights out of me.
That's why I kind of leaned away from them, because they were my Super Bowl pick too. And then we have when you say a mortal chamber at training camp, I'm like, all right, I gotta pull out of there.
I get it. I'm gonna roll with them, but I am really in on the Bucs. I think the Bucs are gonna be. I think the Bucs are going to be really good, and Bowles is a very good defensive coach, so they'll be better than they should be defensively. And it's just, again, they play in a joke division. Like they go 6-0 in that division. So I think that'll help them.
I'd be all for it. I mean, it'd be something new and fresh and whatnot, and they'd be a fun team, easy team to root for. So I'd like to see it. Is that your long-winded way of saying that they're going to beat the Falcons on Sunday?
Oh God, yeah. I'll pick them to move back a touchdown.
Okay. Titans, Broncos. I think we're both going to pick Denver.
We are. That's a big spread.
Well, how do you feel about Cam Ward? I think Cam Ward will be good, but everything around him right now, offensive line wise, they did some stuff. They brought in Zeitler. They brought in Dan Moore.
Can Latham play football? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Calvin Ridley's quietly kind of old at receiver for your number one. They don't really have a quality proven number two.
They're not good. I would definitely take Denver. I take the under in the game.
Yeah, let's see. The over-under is 42.5.
I think the under big time.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that quietly is true about both Denver and the Chargers. They beat nobody last year.
Yep.
Either one of them. That is the one concerning thing. And just so people know, I'm not just sitting here and being completely full of shit.
I think Denver was 0-7 against playoff teams last year.
Yeah. So Denver, the big one they had was in week 3, they beat Tampa, which is a terrific win. Other than that, against playoff teams, lost to the Steelers, beat the Bucs, lost to the Chargers, lost to the Ravens, lost to the Chiefs, lost to the Chargers again.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals didn't make the playoffs, but they lost to them. And then got absolutely annihilated by Buffalo.
Right.
And if you go to the Chargers, just since I brought them up, here's who the Chargers beat. Here are the quarterbacks that the Chargers beat last year.
Okay, this would be good.
11-6. Here are the guys they beat. Gardner Minshew, Bryce Young, Bo Nix, week 6, game 5. Spencer Rattler, Jameson Winston, Will Levis, Joe Burrow, who they beat 34-27, but they put up 453 yards in that game. The corpse of Kirk Cousins, Bo Nix again, Drake May on a horrific Pats team, and Aiden O'Connell. That is my one concern about both those teams. It's I don't know. Can you beat anybody who has a guy who's a functioning right arm?
Right.
Denver will win this game. My only concern, if Tennessee can get to 14 points, they might cover it. But I don't know. I think it's 20-10. So I'll take Denver and swallow the 8.5. But that's a big number, though.
It is.
That is a lot. 8.5 points for Bo Nix feels like an aggressive.
That's what I'm saying. Denver's not going to put up a ton of points. Their offense, dude, outside of Sutton, no one scares you there. And the one guy who people were talking about, Devon Vele, they traded to the Saints. So
I get why they did that, but I really liked Vele. I get it. The Saints give up a 4th-round pick for him, and that's probably pick 100.
Yeah,
but he's pretty good. Troy Franklin did nothing.
Right.
Marvin Mims is good in the return game. He's not a receiver. You look at them, again, if Cortland Sutton is a hamstring pull,
I mean, look, as a guy who's a fan of the Steelers, I know what that looks like when your only receiver goes down and you have nothing but a very short slot receiver and just a bunch of dudes there. So,
yeah, I think Denver, because it's in Denver, there's a world that this game is 20-3, because I do think Denver's defense is awesome.
Yeah.
So I'll pick them to cover based on that. But, man, I would hesitate, and I'm somebody, by the way, I'm picking Denver to make the playoffs, but I would hesitate. Some of these people who have them I've seen multiple stories this past week, hey, they're a Super Bowl contender. No, they are not. There are 3 teams that can win the AFC, and Denver's not one.
Certainly.
So, there is no world that team is beating Mahomes, Allen, or Lamar in a playoff game.
Nor are they beating 2 of them in the postseason to get to the Super Bowl to begin with. So
right. Right. So give me Denver to win the cover, but I think Denver's a little. Denver went from like undervalued in May to now like hilariously overvalued.
Yeah.
There's a sweet spot there. I think we're not quite hitting.
All right. 49ers Seahawks. Like I told you, I originally picked the Rams to win to get to the Super Bowl, win the NFC. I've taken a step back just because like I just don't know what to make of Stafford and the injury. So therefore slot the 49ers in there. Okay. Very easy schedule. There's still a lot of things that scare me about them. Like Ayuk's going to be out for a little bit, and receiver wise, like they bring in Sky Moore, MVS, and they're going to rely on Ricky Pearsall to be a 1 for the time being until Ayuk gets back. Right. Talking to JP Acosta earlier in the weekend, he said Christian McCaffrey might like break a record for touches in a season as long as he's healthy. They are going to just feed him relentlessly.
If the Rams don't win the division, I'm taking the Cardinals. I don't, and I'm not like giving you a hard time or anything. No, I don't understand how anybody looks at the 49ers and thinks they're good.
I think a lot of it has to do with like Shanahan.
Which I understand that part of it, but it's like, okay, if you want to sell me on the idea that, hey, Shanahan's going to scheme things up and McCaffrey's just going to be the offensive player of the year again, like, okay, fine. They're going to need him to be.
Yeah.
Because even with Ayuk coming back, Kittle's in his 30s. Like, dude, I live the Sky Moore experience. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Good luck. MVS, Jawan Jennings is a good
You lived the MVS experience for a little bit too.
Yeah. It's quite an experience. You wake up in the middle of the night just screaming. But yeah, you really do. He actively,
oddly enough, that's the same side effect of the Kenny Pickett experience. So I get it.
He was on the Chiefs for 2 years and they won 2 Super Bowls.
It's pretty crazy.
And yet you're like, I think he was actively playing for other teams during those games. Him and Kadarius Toney. But in any event, look, the Niners defense also, like Saleh, I like a lot as a coordinator, and he's gonna have to work some magic because that team, other than Bosa and Warner, is not good.
Yeah. I mean, they lose Greenlaw, they lose Hufanga. There's been a lot of turnover on that side of the ball the last couple of years.
Ward. Yeah. I'm thinking Seattle in this game, and I didn't like Seattle that much. I can't believe they're not favored in this game.
Yeah, 2.5-point dogs.
Like, they're at home against a Niners team that has you and me at receiver.
Well, to be fair, the Seahawks, their offense isn't exactly a juggernaut either.
No, it's not. And I don't think Darnold's going to be very good there because I think a lot of it's Kevin O'Connell. Okay, so Mike McDonald can coach defense.
He can.
The Niners, if I'm Seattle, I'm like, just whatever you do, tackle McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of it. Like, I don't know what else they do. You have good corners in Seattle. I'll take Seattle in this game. I'll take him.
Okay.
I'll take him by, I don't know. 24-20, something like that.
All right. I'm still going to take San Francisco. I'm just very out on the Seahawks offense. Where
I'm not in on the Seahawks, but
no. I totally, I hear you. It just felt like they were going to go in a very obvious rebuild direction after trading Geno Smith, which is like, all right, can get behind that, start over, get your guys, whatever, that's fine. And then they signed Sam, and then they signed Cooper Kupp when they already have Jackson Smith and Jigba as a slot receiver.
I see my future, and it's me writing in week 11 how the Seahawks can get out of the Sam Darnold deal after the season. If they cut him before the third day of the league year, they can post June 1 that thing. And I feel like that's what's coming.
Do we think that Jalen Milroe's starting games for them this year?
No, but I think it's going to be pretty obvious pretty early. Sam Darnold was a product of an unbelievable situation in Minnesota.
Yeah.
There's no Justin Jefferson on this. I like the jig bid, but he's not Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
And Kevin O'Connell is not going to Seattle. So
Clint Kubiak is there now, though. Well,
awesome. Remember when Clint Kubiak was the smartest man to ever live after 2
weeks into the season, Clint Kubiak was God. Yes.
And then they just got absolutely yoked the entire year.
Derek Carr gets hurt, and then they're playing Jarrett Bailey and Matt Verderame at quarterback, and shit went downhill quickly.
That team was an atrocity.
They were hilarious football team to put up 40 points the first 2 weeks of the year, and then just shit the bed for 15 weeks. It was great.
It was just so funny. All the think pieces, like it reminded actually, not that it's just ironic, but like when Darnold went to the Panthers years ago, and they started 3-0, and there were all these think pieces like, is he the MVP of the league? It's like,
I was the guy who was like drove the Sam Darnold train, and they started 3-0. I remember they got to 3-0 on Thursday night, and I was just like, there it is. I think they beat Houston or somebody on a Thursday night. And I was like, there it is, Sam Darnold, the revenge tour, and then they just fell apart.
Dude, I remember writing for Fanside when I was there at the time. Like, this guy sucks. This is not the idea that this team is good. And look, there's going to be a team this year. And I'm actually going to dig in here this week. There's going to be a team this year that starts out like 2-0 or 3-1 that everybody's just like, oh, look at it. And then you're going to be, yeah, that's great. They played Cleveland and New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like they're not good. I promise you they're not good.
And like you said, like week one's always weird. Remember a couple years ago whenever Winston threw for like 9 yards and 5 touchdowns against the Packers in week one?
Yes.
And they won that game. And it was like, oh my God, Jameis Winston, he's the greatest thing ever. It's like, bro, like the Packers offense gifted him field position in the red zone 4 times. And
yes, I think people get so like just out of control. I feel like the hype machine with Denver is going to go off the rails because they play the Titans and then they play the Colts.
Yeah, let's start off 2-0.
They'll be 2-0. People, oh, and then they play like the Chargers, the Bengals, the Eagles, and it's just immediately going to be
like, all right, here it comes.
Like maybe 3-2. And actually, right. But yeah, no, like there's always a team every year, like the Dolphins. Who the hell they play week 2? Okay, so the Dolphins are like at the Colts and home to the Pats, and I could see that being like a classic, like. They just bullshit their way to being 2-0, and then they go play the Bills on a Thursday night at Orchard
And they just
Park.
lose by 80.
Oh my God! I will bet my mortgage on the Bills in that game. I don't even the spread. It could be 14 points. Like that's one of those classic. Like they're 2-0, and that could also be a game we're gonna get to in a minute. Like if the Bills lose to Baltimore, and like they're 1-1, and people
they're just gassed up.
They're up 2 with a breaker, and they just absolutely. Just shellacked out of the building.
Allen goes to like 30 of 33 for 400 yards by halftime. And just like, oh, all right. Well, Miami, not the team we thought they were. All right.
I can't believe this happened. Like,
yeah.
Look, man, I'm not kidding. There's not enough money on earth to bet on Buffalo. Like I will be liquidating accounts. Okay. By the way, they're actually here. So they actually might end up being a pick here if they beat Indianapolis because it's at Indy, then it's home to New England.
Yeah.
It's at the Bills on a Thursday night, but then they come home with a mini bye actually on a Monday night. So the following Monday. So they get like almost 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
They play the Jets at home.
Oh my.
Then they're at the Panthers. Like they could easily be 4-1 and people are going to be, where's the apology? And then it just like, because then after that they still play the Chargers at home and then they're at Cleveland.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but then it's like, then it's at the Falcons, then it's the Ravens, the Bills, the Commanders, and that game's the Commanders games I believe in Germany. It's overseas.
Yeah. Then
they get the Saints and the Jets, but then they're at Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Tampa, at New England. Like. I can see that team starting out like 5-2 and then just finishing like 7-10. But like, they're the team. They're the team that everybody's like, they're averaging 37 points a game. And then like there's a graphic like in December when they play a team above 500, they average 12. That'll be fun. That'll be a good time.
That's a good shout. I don't want to deal with Dolphins fans for that amount of time, though. I would rather them just suck and go 4-13 and just rip the Band-Aid off.
Well, listen, there is a world here where they just lose to the Colts and Pats to start the year.
There is a world where that happens.
The Bills annihilate them, and it's just 0-3 immediately, and you're like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
So that could go either, because the Colts-Dolphins and the Colts-Dolphins game and the Colts-Pats game are both games that, like, could go either direction.
Yeah.
So it could be like Miami looks good early, or it could be like, Miami is just brutal, and we've seen it up.
Yeah. All right. The CBS game of the week is the Lions and the Packers, which I already miss the days where our NFC played on Fox, AFC played on CBS. I don't know what's up with this utter woke nonsense of it's not good.
It's the liberals.
It's the damn. I don't know what I have to do. I'll go on Facebook. I'll talk shit about AOC. I'll do what I got to do to help us get back to the country that we
I'll
once
also
were.
start screaming about my rights. I don't know. Just get really, really fired up about red flag laws.
Defending Rittenhouse, doing what I got to do to help us.
Putting on ill-fitting bumper stickers, right, onto my Tesla.
Wearing shirts that say like these colors don't run or
don't tread on me.
Yeah.
It'd be great. It'll be great. Yeah. I'll be the biggest asshole on earth to try to get the games back on CBS and Fox.
If that's what I got to do, that's what I'll do.
Somebody, by the way, was watching furious right now. Like they were cool with it when they didn't realize they were being mocked. And they're like, wait a minute.
I have a feeling this guy's making fun of me.
I'm currently wearing that shirt. Yeah. So like I guarantee you there's somebody out there who's firing off a heinous email. My bumper sticker fits fine. Yeah. Okay, sure it does, chick.
Monster Energy fucking rules, you prick. Like, all right, dude, calm down.
I lift weights in the driveway in my tank top.
Oh my God.
Straight Staten Island garbage. Anywho, mom's out there videotaping it with like our 1997 VCR camcorder.
Yeah.
Joey, do too long for the gram. Yeah. Anyway, look, so I'm gonna take Detroit in this game. Look,
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I mean, look, so the Packers thing's weird. Parsons is an enormous addition. That goes without saying. I went to Packers camp, obviously, before this trade happened.
Sure.
And I kept thinking the same thing watching the practice. I was like, and to be fair, Love was not practicing. He had a thumb injury at the time. So Malik Willis was the quarterback. I was like, man, they got a lot of good players, but they don't have anybody who's like a great player. Now they have that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So they went from being a fringe playoff team for me to a playoff team. Like, I think they're definitely a playoff team. I think they're a contender in the NFC. But, like, there's this weird thing we're all doing with the Lions. Like, and then now they don't have Ben Johnson. Like, that's it. And it's like, I do think it matters that they lost their coordinators because unlike a team like the Rams or the Vikings, like if they lose their OC, who cares, right? Like, you have your coach is your OC.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions, it's not true with. But at the same point, now I watched the Lions and dude, that team's loaded. Like they're defensively, I've got my questions, but they're really, really good. I still think the Lions are really good, man. Like I still think that team is going to win 12, 13 games. I like the Lions. I do. I think Parsons is awesome. I think he's going to pay off. I think he's going to pay major dividends for him, and they'll make that trade 100 times out of 100 going. But I like Detroit. I still think Detroit. And look, it's a game that I admit openly, like Green Bay, I'm leery about that game, but I'm going to take Detroit in the game.
The Packers, after I kind of like ditched the Rams after the Stafford stuff, the Packers were the team that I picked to come out of the NFC. And that was before the Parsons trade. So I feel before the trade. And again, and look, that comes back to, I think Matt LaFleur is a great coach. I think Jordan Love's a very good quarterback. The receivers scared me a little bit, but I think Matthew Golden is going to prove to be, a good draft pick, to be a good number one there. Josh Jacobs had a really nice year last year, and I don't have a reason to think that he won't have a good year this year. And yeah, defensively, like putting Parsons with Rashawn Gary and Edge Cooper, like that's going to be a tough unit to face every week. The Lions, I saw the Lions as a playoff team. I think that they'll split this series. The Lions won both of these last year. I don't think that'll happen this year. They'll still be a playoff team. My setback with them is what version of Goff are they going to get when they get there? Because Goff has had the tendency, I mean, we saw it last year against Washington, where there's times where he can just turn into a turnover machine out of nowhere, and that's not good. Roster-wise, they are loaded. I think Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown, Williams, Laporte, like they're absolutely loaded. They've done a great job at drafting. They'll be back in the postseason for sure. I think they split the season series with Green Bay. The home team will win both of those. But I'm super high on Green Bay. And that was before Micah was acquired. But I think Jordan Love really cements himself as like one of the, handfuls of best quarterbacks in the NFL this year. Big on Green Bay.
Fair. Fair. I think it's the best division of football. I actually have a piece going out
Yes.
tomorrow for SI where it's like 3,000 plus words. And I talked to a billion people in the division for this thing. And it's like, this is why this division is as good as it is. Like, here's an inside look, like pull back the curtain. I talked to Aaron Jones. I talked to Rashawn Gary, Kevin O'Connell, Matt LaFleur. I talked to Dan Skipper. I talked to Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't think I ended up putting a quote of his in the story. God, who else I talked to? I talked to a lot of freaking people for this story. The bottom line is, I hope people read it. It's interesting, but it was very intriguing to me. That division set a record for wins last year at 45.
Wow.
And it might be better this year. I don't know if it'll have more wins, but it might be a better overall top-bottom division. So I am fascinated. Of all the picks I've made so far, that game's probably the one I have the least amount of confidence in. But I'll take Detroit. I think they're more talented.
All right. Rams, Texans. Again, this is the thing that everybody's been circling. If you're a Rams fan, is like, all right, McVay keeps saying, well, if the game was today, we'd play Matthew. But just so happens that they're playing Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, a really good defense in Houston that could give them fits. So the Texans are a weird team for me because like Stroud's awesome. D'Amico's a good coach. They got a good defense. Yep. Offensive line, I think, is not good. Receiver-wise, outside of Nico Collins, there's nothing proven there. So I will go with the Rams, but that is probably the game that I'm least confident in.
So I'm a little more confident than you are. I'll take the Rams. I think it's a one-score game. And they'll cover. But I think it's like 24 to like 19 or something. Like I think Houston's got a top 5 defense in the NFL all day long.
I would say so, yes.
And I saw their defense up close and personal. They had a joint practice with the Lions. I tell you that they were banging. That practice was, you knew you were watching 2 pretty good units with the Lions offense and the Texans defense. Stingley and St. Brown, that was cool to watch close up. The difference for me in this game is, man, I don't think Houston can block.
Yeah.
Like, I really think the Rams might sack him like 8-9 times in this game. I have no idea how they block. The Rams' defensive line is giving the Eagles fits in the playoffs. Like, they couldn't block. The Eagles' offensive line couldn't handle the Rams. Fisk is a damn good player versus a defensive rookie of the year. You've got Kobe Turner inside. You got Byron Young. Like, it's a lot. And, like, man, I look at the Texans. It's like, you don't have one guy in that line who I'm super confident in.
Yeah.
Whole lot of Ed Ingram in there.
Yeah, not good. And
not good. Like,
starting a rookie left tackle. So
yeah, and like now, like like Titus Howard, like he's kind of a jack of all trade, master of none guy. Yeah. I worry in this game. No, like, people can shit on Joe Mixon all they want, but like he's a good running back. Nick Chubb's not doing it.
Oh, you don't think so? See,
no.
Tanier said that he didn't think that the drop off was going to be too much. You fall on the other side of that.
I do. Like, I think Nick Chubb is not the player he once was because of the injuries.
I would agree.
Like, I like Wale as like a change of pace back, but like if you're asking that guy to carry the mail 20 times a game, I don't love it. I think the Texans will win the division. I know you like Jacksonville, but I am going to take the Rams, and it's in LA. I'll take the Rams to win, like I said, 4 or 5 points, something like that.
All right. We'll do the primetime games right after a quick break and a word from this video sponsor, Wine Express. This episode is brought to you by WineExpress.com. And if you're a wine guy like me, it is the absolute paradise for all wine drinkers. From personalized recommendation from wine concierges who help you find wines that you love and even help curate selections if you'd like. They also have access to hard-to-find wines and will give you early access to coveted deals. And they'll help you find wine tastings, both local and virtual. It is the ultimate wine drinkers paradise. And right now, they'll give you early access to their Labor Day sale, which offers up to 80% off certain wines. Click the link in the description below for access to the Labor Day sale with up to 80% off certain wines at wineexpress.com. All right, welcome back to the Pump Fake. Jarrett Bailey, Matt Verderame. Let's get into the primetime games of week 1. Baltimore travels to Buffalo in a rematch of the divisional round of this past season. The Bills are favored by 1.5. And you and I talked before the show about the Bills and their approach to their building of the defense this offseason. And it's one that rubbed me the wrong way as a guy who, like, obviously, my thing is, I want Josh Allen to win. I'm,
right.
Big Josh guy. The way that they've gone about building the defense this offseason has been pretty baffling, where they haven't added any sort of like proven veteran depth in the secondary. They brought back always hurt Tre'Davious White, who was already hurt. They brought back not good Dane Jackson, who they've since cut. They still have not good DeMar Hamlin, always hurt already, always behind Cole Bishop. Taylor Rapp, who's fine, but not, the number one guy that you want, but also hurt a lot. Yeah. Cornerback wise, like Benford's awesome. I think Max Hairston will be good, but he's going to be missing the first 4 games because he's was on IR. So like already, like you're shorthanded at the cornerback position. If the Ravens can get any sort of like air attack going, they don't have the horses to slow that down right now.
So the other problem I think Buffalo has in this game is Buffalo's relying on a lot of young guys up front.
That too.
And there's a lot of stuff with Baltimore. Like you have to have great eye discipline with them. Because if you're out of a gap, you're dead.
Yeah.
They will just put you in a meat grinder. Look, so I'm gonna give my pick. And by the way, I've seen this game as a pick 'em in a lot of places. So the record. I think Baltimore's gonna win the game. But here's what I think though. Going forward, I think Baltimore's going to win this game, and I think Baltimore's got a better roster than the Bills.
I agree.
Okay, this is the first time you and I love to I playfully give you crap about the Bills all the time.
Yeah,
but I have a lot of respect for the Bills, and over the years, I've said to you many times, I think if there's anybody who's going to beat the Chiefs in the AFC, it's going to be them because I just have no respect for Baltimore in a playoff game at all. Zero. I have more respect for Cincinnati is currently constituted in the playoff game than I do for Baltimore.
Yeah.
And I bet you if you ask the Chiefs, so do the Chiefs. Look, this is the first time in like 4 years or so. I don't love the Bills roster. Now, that being said, they're going to be right there because Allen's awesome. Mm-hmm. The offensive line is really good. I do love their backs. I think their backs are tremendous.
Yeah.
I don't love the defense. It's a defense. It's like, man, you are a Benford or Teron Johnson injury away from just like, I don't know what you do. Because I like Rousseau. I've always been a Rousseau guy, but he's a number 2 on a really good pass.
Yes. Yes.
Like not to go back to the Chiefs, my Chiefs examples, but he's Karlaftis.
Mm-hmm.
And if Karlaftis is next to Chris Jones, he's great. But like if he's the number 1 pass rusher, it's like, he's good, but he's not like the guy. He's really good compliment the guy. Joey Bosa is another guy who is always hurt. And then you just like Ed Oliver's kind of one of those careers you look at him and you're like, man, you're fine, but you should be better than that.
They drafted him top 10 overall?
It's like he's not a bad player, but he's just kind of like
Well, here, this is actually perfect because I did something about this. Let's put it on the screen real quick. This is what the Bills have done in the draft since 2020, and it's just a lot of nothing good there.
It's not. Elam was a complete bust. Coleman last year was not particularly good. Kincaid, I thought was going to be really good, but then last year was terrible.
Yeah,
Rousseau's a good player, but not a great player, and Epinesa has just been a rotational player.
Yeah.
So it's the bottom line is what I'm driving at in a very long-winded way here is. I think Buffalo, if they play the Ravens in a playoff game, will beat them.
I agree. I am also, for the record, I am also going to pick Baltimore in this game for all the reasons you just pointed out.
But I will say this is the first time, like even last year when the Bills played the Chiefs, there was a part of me deep down, I was like, man, the Bills are better than the Chiefs, but the Chiefs just always find a way to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I picked them. I think I even said that on my podcast. I was like, look, the Bills should win this game, but they won't. And it's the same way I feel like with Buffalo and Baltimore in a playoff game. Baltimore should beat them, but probably won't.
Yeah.
I think the Bills are the 3rd best roster in the AFC right now. I do, but I still think that I'll leave it at this. I think the Bills lose this game. I think they're the number 1 seed in the AFC because the schedule's not hard.
I said exact same thing. I think they lose to Baltimore week 1 just because matchup wise too, Baltimore's a bad matchup for them.
They are.
So I think that plays a big factor into this. I don't think it's going to be like what it was last year on Sunday night when Baltimore just.
No, I don't think it'll be that
either. But yeah, the defense does give me a lot of pause. And look, maybe this ends up being a blessing in disguise because if Baltimore does just run it up and has a field day offensively, then maybe the Bills are like, all right, we need to go get somebody. And maybe they do call, like a Justin Simmons or someone just to come in and like, hey, we needed the help. Let's go bring in a veteran who can actually play rather than bring in a guy who's 37 and just happened to used to play for the Bills.
The big concern I have right now, Buffalo, is the two teams in the AFC they have to match up against. They don't really match up well with them right now. The Ravens can just run it all over them.
They can,
because they're a much bigger front than the Bills are. And I like the Bills linebackers, but it doesn't, like, if Derrick Henry's downhill, it's too late.
Terrell Bernard isn't stopping that train.
It's too late. Like, it's like, great, he hit him 7 yards downfield. And the flip side is, like, when they play Kansas City doesn't give a damn if they run the football.
Right.
But if they, assuming the Chiefs have their full complement of receivers, they're just going to look at that secondary and go, why are we even bothering running the football? Mm-hmm. Like, we're just going to spread them out. The Bills love to play zone. The Chiefs are just going to sit there and go, look, pick a matchup and throw it at them. And I think the Bills have to take the first 6-7 weeks of the year and genuinely assess, like, okay, can we win a Super Bowl with this defense?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if they can beat Miami. Like, can they beat, and I think, look, they went out and got Deion Walker. I think a lot to deal with a team like Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
But, they look, and we'll see too. Harrison, when he comes back, maybe he's the answer. I always worry about rookies that missed the whole summer.
I do too.
That's tough. That's a tough ask. But we'll see. But I think I just think Baltimore is better set up in week 1 than Buffalo is right now.
I'm doing a thing for my Substack. It's going to be over 100 predictions, but the thing that I let it off with is that I'm going to predict the Bills to win the Super Bowl. And number 2 is they're going to probably lose in somehow the most heartbreaking fashion that they've lost in so far. I have to bring up what I've written. Let me actually see if it's up right now, and I can read off to you the prediction that I have, because I thought it was kind of funny. So what I wrote is that the game will go to overtime. The Bills defense will actually hold the Chiefs. Buffalo gets the ball. Josh Allen throws a touchdown, but a holding call negates it. The next play, Chris Jones sacks Allen. He fumbles, and Trent McDuffie returns it for a touchdown. So
sounds about right.
Yeah, that's probably the most heartbreaking fashion they could do it in.
The Bills, it's not even a Bills thing as much for me as it's a Kansas City. I'm just to the point until somebody beats that team in the AFC.
Hey, I hear you.
Fine. And somebody will eventually. They're not going to go to 12 straight Super Bowls, but
we'd like to think. I mean, I'd like to think that at least.
I will say though, this is the first time in years where I've looked at the two teams. I'm like, the Chiefs are just better than the Bills right now. It doesn't mean they're going to beat them. I mean, not. But Allen, if the Bills play the Chiefs in a playoff game, I think if the Bills win the game, it's going to be because Allen has an out of body experience. Because I don't think there's a world where we're sitting here going, man, the Bills held them to 16 points.
That's another thing is
it's going to be 38-34 or something if they win that game.
Yeah.
And it could be, but I think that's what it would have to be.
I agree. The final game on the week 1 slate, the Vikings and the Bears. The Vikings are 1.5 favorites over Chicago. I'm not high on either of these teams. I'm not number 1 picking the draft low on them, but I would probably lean Minnesota here just because of I believe in the structure that Kevin O'Connell has. He's one of the better floor raisers in the NFL, and roster-wise, I think they're just better than Chicago. So I'll take Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota knows who they are, and Chicago's trying to figure it out. She had a new coach. I'm covering this game for Sports Illustrated, so I won't go too in the weeds here. But I think Minnesota's just ahead in their program compared to where Chicago is, and I am high in Minnesota. I think Minnesota can go to the Super Bowl. I really do. So. I think O'Connell will basically spoon feed McCarthy along.
Yeah.
And look, there's a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams right out of his shoe here. In a weird way, I almost wish for Chicago this game was in Minnesota. Take some of the pressure off. If Brian Flores is blitzing them into I will say one thing, man. I've seen the Bears a couple times this summer, spring/summer. I saw them in OTAs and training camp.
Yeah.
The left tackle situation is a disaster. Braxton Jones can't block. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're getting Jonathan Grenard just screaming off the. If I had to pick one non-quarterback this summer that I saw that impressed me most of any of the 9 teams I saw, it was Jonathan Grenard.
Oh, wow.
He was beating Christian Darrisaw and O'Neal like a speed bag over and over and to the point, oh my God, man. Is anybody going to get hands on this dude? He was like the defensive player of the year of
Minnesota.
And I was talking to people there, and they're like, yeah, he's looked like that all summer. I just worry in this game for the Bears, if Caleb gets off to a bad start, do you start having some very impatient people booing him about midway through the quarter? And all of a sudden, it's like the worm starts turning. Whereas, like, if this is in Minnesota, you don't have that dynamic. I actually think in a weird way, it's almost a disadvantage of playing this game in Chicago.
I think that's a good way, an interesting way of looking at it. Yeah, because the pressure that comes with Williams, and I think a lot of it is he's the product of the expectations of analysts and whatnot, and crowning him as like the second coming before he even took an NFL snap. And a lot of that is, it's not necessarily on him, but at the same time, he does have to, like, he was drafted number 1 overall for a reason, and eventually you got to at least show that you're capable of being a franchise quarterback. I don't think he had a horrible rookie year. I mean, all things considered, with the mess with Waldron and Eberflus and all of that. But yeah, I mean, they expect him to take a leap. We'll see if he can make it. But yeah, I will pick Minnesota in this game, and yeah, that'll wrap up week 1. I'm excited to talk about it with you after the fact. And we'll see what the biggest storylines are. What you're covering the game for Sports Illustrated. What do you have going on outside of that?
Outside of that, I've got the NFC North piece coming out Tuesday morning. That'll be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing people's reactions to it. Friday, every week this year, I will have a preview piece where I go really in depth, talk to people in the league to preview the biggest games of the week ahead. And then I'll have the good, the bad, and the ugly every Sunday night coming out of these games. So those will be my 2 staple columns I do all season long with SI. But yeah, a million stories coming out in the meantime, led by the NFC North feature piece, which will be out tomorrow morning on SI.com.
Good stuff. And then from me, by the time this is out, the over 100 predictions piece should also be out. So go read that on the Snap, jbaileyNFL.substack.com. Follow on Twitter at jbaileyNFL. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. If you're listening as a podcast, leave a review, leave a comment, and continue to follow along all season. Matt, buddy, I always enjoy talking to you, especially when there's real games to talk about. And looking forward to doing another season with you, bud.
Yeah, can't wait, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll talk to you after week 1 to recap everything that went down Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and Monday to preview Vikings and Bears, perhaps, or maybe we'll be back on Tuesday. We'll figure it out in the meantime. But until we speak again, I'm Jarrett Bailey. This is the Pump Fake. Talk to y'all soon.